Woody had gone right to the police, this would never have happened.
Uh-oh.
So, there are liberties being taken, like, there's going to be an increased amount of shit talk.
Oh, I have to remind myself I'm here willingly.
Catch one with a little bit of attitude, big guy?
Man, you champion son.
Well, it's a kangaroo court.
What do you mean how is the NFL a kangaroo court?
Could you please let me explain why?
No, I don't want to hear this garbage. Give me an answer to the questions I asked you.
What the fuck are we doing?
Come on with it, baby!
That's fine.
Italian. I'll talk to you later.
I'm a psych. Let's get to the scene. All right. My undercarriage is sweating.
All right, and welcome into another edition of the Third and Manageable podcast. I am one of your hosts, Matt Diegert, and to my left, right, center, in front of the fireplace, we got my co-host, Student Body Right.
What's up, dude? How are you?
Not too bad. We got a Sabres game on here. It was Christmas a couple days ago. Had a good holiday. How about you?
Yeah, it was the first one without my dad. It was like kind of weird. I was also the first one with the Sabres on a 13-game losing streak. So, I mean, in a bigger tragedy in that sentence, Matthew.
I mean, it could have been like their one from a couple years ago and be 18, but, you know, I mean, we got the Bills. We got the Bills going on here. We got nothing but good things going on for the Bills right now.
Yeah.
You know.
Allegedly. I don't know why I'm so down today. Why am I so down today?
I don't know.
Anyway, we got a massive show, and as always, I'll kick it to Matt and go back and forth. We are sponsored by Ilion Apollos. Ilion Apollos, a family tradition since 1965, 3785 South Park Avenue. For reservations, call 716-825-3675. We're also sponsored by FanDuel, the official sports pick of Dude Champions. In addition to that, what we're watching on TV right now is sponsored and broadcasted by Fubo TV. Matt, who am I missing?
We are missing W.GG, the official energy drink of Dude Champions, Beauty Pools, Kayak Pools, Fat Boy Surf Club. I'm trying to think who else we got.
Sons of Erie.
Sons of Erie, yes. I cannot believe I forgot them.
Yeah, Sons of Erie. Fucking great company. If you ever heard of it? Anyway, we got a clash back to the AFC East once again. Back to the well. It seems like the last 2 years we have stacked these in reverse, Matt. This is what, the second year in a row that we're seeing. We'll see two teams in 3 weeks. It seems like we had that play with the Dolphins, even though that bled into the playoffs, stuff like that. But we go AFC East, AFC East, AFC East as the victorious last week, 24-21 for the win over New England. We get out of MetLife Stadium. We have the Jets, and then back to New England.
Well, to Gillette Stadium.
To Gillette Stadium, correct. But yeah, in that game, we will preview today. We also have the peak in the pit for the upcoming Jets game. We'll talk a little Aaron Rodgers, and we'll talk a little field conditions, as this one is going to be rounding out our 2024 season at Highmark Stadium.
Yep, end of the. Well, we can't say it's rounding out the regular season. Rounding out the regular season, because hopefully we're gonna have minimum. We're gonna have minimum two home games here.
And as we break right into it, we got the news that we aren't playing for a terrible amount of upside, but to maintain our position. Matt, you saw that the Chiefs came in. They did what they did all season 15 times and only did not achieve it once. They locked up the number one seed. How did you feel getting that news, watching that news, and did you feel like it was going to go that way anyway?
I mean, I did. I really did think that the Chiefs were going to lock it up against Pittsburgh, as much as, you know, my heart and my stomach were telling me, you know, keep hope alive, right? But
that was my name of my high school band, by the way.
Keep hope alive?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We didn't. Spoiler, Matt. We didn't. That band's over with.
That's all right. But no, I mean, it sucks. You saw how, you know, Pittsburgh was down a few guys on defense. So, I mean, Joey
Tomlin seemed pretty upset.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been. I mean, you now just basically don't control your own destiny anymore.
No, that's a terrible thing in football. Is when you're controlling your own destiny, you're still playing just as hard. But as Josh said post game, he said, "Do we want to open up this offense, show everything we have while still remaining competitive, or do we kind of want to win what we're doing and kind of save a couple bullets in the holster, so to speak? Matt, what were your thoughts on that comment there? Knowing, did it give you inspiration that we still have some stuff in the Rolodex there that we can call up on a moment's notice?
I mean, it more came across to me as they didn't game plan for New England. Like truly, it was they not. I don't want to say
not that they didn't. We don't do that.
They didn't treat it like a preseason game, but I mean, I do think that they didn't. Scheme things up to get wide receivers open. Or,
counterpoint.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think they schemed more using a limited? Because sometimes it takes more scheme to use a limited playbook rather than really just opening up the entire arsenal. What do you think about that point?
I mean, I definitely do think it's a good point. But I'm just going off of what was said in the post game is they kept I don't want to say held things back, but I mean that's basically what Josh said is they were holding things back and they didn't scheme the receivers open like they have been, and it kind of showed that they were relied more on the running game than they did anything else this week.
Yeah, we did kind of nail the peak in the pit last week. The peak of it being how much we were predicated on cover one. I think I took my victory up last week, so I will not do that again. And my pit was a little bit of game management and clock control. That's almost how we lost it, which I was not super happy with. I don't take any
umbrage.
Oh, I take multiple umbrage that a random fan called how we might lose. Mm-hmm. But I did not feel like the game was ever out of hands, despite a score late in the cheap seats.
No, I mean even when it was 14-0, I other years you might be like, oh, maybe it's sitting there and we're just not not this might be over right now. We might let's chalk it up and move on to next week or anything like that. But Josh is playing at MVP level, and I just felt like he was going to bring us, back those 14 points. And
how much was the surprise, and how much stock do you put into the idea that he could have been playing with a broken hand since week one?
I mean, shout out to Thigh Doctor. He called it. I mean, I don't necessarily say it's a great thing that he was doing that, but
broken hand, but again,
it's his left hand. It's not his throwing hand.
A broken hand is not going to heal in
right. It's almost like where it was broken. It's almost like a finger. So I mean, what are you going to do for it? Like as long as you're not taking like super massive hits, you have the plate in there. You're being careful with it. Is
there a plate in there?
There was a. It looked like there was a plate in the glove.
In the glove, so
yeah.
so not part of his.
Correct.
He's not playing like he's the Terminator.
No.
Well, I mean, he is. Actually, bad joke. Bad joke. But he was playing like that. So Matt, let's kick it right now. What do you want to do? Off the rack first, or you want to do a peek in the pit, or here's why you suck.
Let's start it out with.
Let's lay the lumber for what we're dealing with this weekend.
Let's see here.
Yeah, why don't we do that? The Buffalo Bills, they are 12-3. The 3 losses coming from a Baltimore team, a Houston team, and who's the third loss?
The Rams.
The Rams.
Watched it here.
Yeah, we did. Anyway, the Baltimore team, a Rams team, and a Houston team. We are going to see a ton of things going on here. What do we got? What are you pointing at?
Hold on. We're gonna run to that.
Oh, here's why you suck. Matt, you start with me. Here's why. This is sponsored by Sons of Erie. www.sonsoferie.com, a Lake Erie-based art house for all your home decor need. Hey, art decor looks better on your walls. www.sonsoferie.com. Here's why you suck, Matty.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to give it to you a little bit. I mean, it's
you going to give it to me in a good way or bad? The way I like it or the way I hate it?
It's you patting yourself on the back a little bit too much the past couple of weeks.
I mean, stayed off Twitter this week.
You did. You kind of held the water, but I mean, you were on the post game, almost breaking your arm, patting your back, patting yourself on the back. But no, I mean, you were right with cover one. You were right with the Spencer Brown stuff. You've been right with a lot of things that we've seen here as a network and as hosts.
I do appreciate that.
everything like that. So I mean, I can't really say why you suck. I will say, you shouldn't break your arm as much. As
Yeah. Well, there are moral victories. Sometimes when you're doing this whole rigmarole as we do. I see we got an illustrious 15 people here. I'm sure everybody's with their family. Down for a little bit, so like and subscribe if you guys are here. www.dudechampions.com. Matt, here's why you suck, and it has to go back to your stupid ass Jeep, your dumb ass lifted Jeep, your Jeep that the windshield wiper didn't work for a couple days. Matt told me that he got his first Jeep Duck. I don't know what that is. I've never owned a Jeep. I've never done the Jeep Wave, but it does work in tandem with 2 weeks ago why Matt sucked as he was doing the 524, 521. I don't know what the Jeep Wave is. Oh, or just a straight peace. Just like in church, peace be with you. I went to pivot off that. So anyway, here's why you suck. That's sponsored by Sons of Erie. Our decor looks better on your walls. www.sonsoferie.com. Yo, dude, I went to midnight mass.
Yeah.
I went obviously on Christmas Eve, the day of Christmas or whatever. What an experience! I went with Ilio. I went with Nick Albini from Sons of Erie. Duotis, correct? Shout out to Duotis. Man, what an amazing experience it was. And when they did say we now break for a time of prayers with special intentions, how many people in that 3,000 mass were praying for just a Bills Super Bowl?
I mean, it might be one of them up there on the list after family and friends and things like that. But it's probably in Buffalo. It's got to be up there.
Yeah, I think it's Greg Thompson that says I love the Bills more than anybody that's not blood related to me. Yeah. So I would like to. I don't want to scam on him too much, but I would like to co-sign that as well, because it's certainly in starting this network that it is how we feel. So anyway, to wrap up, here's why you suck. The Jeep thing this winter can't end soon enough.
I'm already. I mean, we're just coming into January here shortly, and it's already I'm already sick of it.
Very good.
Knock on wood, we haven't had too much snow or anything like that yet. But
anyway, in terms of here's why you suck. Maybe here's why you suck going forward is the weather. The weather on Sunday. They are calling for rain. You got an unseasonably amount of warmth right now, 45 degrees, and you got the Buffalo Bills 12-3. Setting to host the New York Jets at Highmark Stadium. That game is slated for 1 p.m. Eastern time. I do believe that is on CBS.
Yes.
So we get a CBS crew. We'll get the ref report out this week as we always do. You guys have been
tomorrow about 5 o'clock.
Tomorrow about 5 o'clock, right after. We have Saturday games tomorrow. Right after, I believe we have Saturday games. Maybe if we don't, either way, if we don't have Saturday games, we will beef that up a little bit. You guys have been nothing but supportive of the ref report. It is everything you need.
Nothing you don't.
We break down video tendencies. We break down procedural calls, what they tend to shade and focus. Not only the umpire, the side judge, the back judge, and the sky judge. The replay reports are all in there.
It's been pretty spot on the past couple of weeks.
Sure has.
Specifically, I mean,
especially that Chiefs one we put out.
Yeah, that Chiefs one was. I could not believe how spot on that was.
Sure, and with the Kansas City Chiefs securing the AFC East top seed, the Bills aim to clinch the number 2 seed with a victory really just over the Jets. That would allow them to rest their starters in Week 16.
I still think, and here's the thing, I still think Josh goes through normal warm-ups. I think he plays one series, and then,
Are we talking Week 16 if we secure a win?
Week 18.
Got it.
Yeah. Week 18. I still think that. I think if they win, I still think Josh plays one series. I still think he, gets through warm-ups, everything like that to try and keep the mind right, everything, and goes through that normal stuff. Whether it means anything to him or not, I mean, he does have one of the longest active, starting streaks of quarterbacks out there. So I don't know if that means anything to him.
I don't think it does.
I mean,
if the MVP race doesn't mean anything, allegedly.
And I get that too.
Allegedly, those post post superlatives and all that stuff.
That's the thing. Like if
we're not focusing on that. We're focusing on
if he was like hurt, I could definitely see them sitting him and not caring. But it might be something that's like, nobody's probably ever going to touch Brett Favre's Iron Man streak in the NFL.
Cal Ripken's.
But that's baseball.
Thanks, Matt. Yo. Where would less I'd be as a man without you? You're right. Cal Ripken is baseball.
Yeah.
Fucking Muppet. Anyway, we are going to that Jets game. There is a call for possible rain out that. The Jets are still under interim coach, Jeff Ulbrich. Do you think we've done enough out of the Jets, or do you think they're still going to be shopping around? You got a lot of big names out there. You got Vrabes is out there. You know, you're talking Ben Johnson's going to be up for reconsideration again. Shout out Ben G. Bills. Still not Ben Johnson, still not the Bills coach. Weird. Anyway, do you think Jeff Ulbrich has done enough, or do you think he's going to get a shot?
No, I don't think. I think he'll get an interview. But I don't think he's, and I think that's more the Aaron Rodgers thing, because I think Aaron Rodgers likes Jeff Ulbrich, but also I think the GM is probably going to want to bring in his own guy in New York, New Jersey. Shout out Cover One with that little shot they took on the DVOA report that they put out. New Jersey, Buffalo, New Jersey. I mean, it was pretty cool. Pretty funny. But no, I mean, Jeff Ulbrich, he took over in a bad spot, and they really
they did him no favors.
They really didn't do anything, with him, because this was touted to be, not for nothing, even if the Bills aren't, even if the Bills aren't falling back, right? They only played one game against the Jets, so it doesn't, it's not like the Jets are 4-11 because the Bills beat them 11 times.
But
so what that kind of
seems like we have over the last 6 years, though.
Right. But I mean, what it tells me is they haven't. Number one, they haven't done enough. Number two, this is a team that was supposed to be tops in the AFC East.
Depending on who you listen to,
yeah. I mean, depending on who you listen to, but especially with a Hall of Fame quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, they were supposed to come out. They have Garrett Wilson, they have Alan Lazard, they have Breece Hall. They just drafted Braylon Allen. They acquired Devontae Adams. They had acquired Hassan Reddick. They have Quinnen Williams there on the defensive line.
He's a monster.
They have his brother right behind him.
CJ
Mosley. I mean, this is a team full of I don't want to say stars, but like stalwarts at their position, and
people who are categorically great on paper.
Right. And they truly, were the March winners, or the
won the offseason
winners. They won the offseason.
To quote Rex Ryan.
Yeah, they won the offseason. We're not trying to win the offseason, and that's truly what with all these talking heads and everything, they
yeah, and I also think the days of whether they're brief days or not of the Jets claiming some of those Aaron Rodgers Super Bowls as what they got. Aaron Rodgers hasn't been in the Super Bowl in a while, and he hasn't been, he is a 4-time MVP, but
it's crazy. It's crazy though to think
they did co-sign a lot of his work prior. They co-signed his work when he was wearing the green and yellow, not the green and black, green and white.
I don't know if you checked it out on Netflix or anything, but the Aaron Rodgers Enigma was a great little mini series that they did.
Enigma wrapped in a conundrum.
It kind of brought me back to realize that Aaron Rodgers has one Super Bowl, one appearance. That's it.
1-1?
1-1. But he's lost multiple times in NFC Championship games. Yeah. And it's just just as good as he is, 4-time MVP. Like if they had put a team around him in Green Bay that could have gotten over that hump, I mean, it's crazy.
Well, you do see how well Jordan Love's playing. I mean, for a third place in the NFC North team out of Green Bay, you got to remember what he's competing against most of the season. He's competing against seeing 2 times out of the Vikings. Shout out Harrison Phillips. You're seeing 2 times out of the Lions, and whatever you get the Bears. But I mean that's like our yeah. Like I said, not to keep patting my and we got
and Alex Tuck just got his hat trick.
Tuck with the hat trick.
Get them hats on the ice. There they go. There they go.
6-2 the Sabres. We got 4:54 left in the third at home. There, we got a we got them at home. There, we got the text from some of the boys. They're out there. Shout out Eric Wood. Damn it!
Did it again. Did it again.
Can't go to podcast. Hey. No name dropping.
I don't care about the name drop real quickly though, but
you care about the 4 listeners that they had.
Real quickly though,
please make it quick.
Real quick, I can't wait to see what Eric Wood came up with for their rankings for their wing tour that they're going to be doing this
Are you going
weekend.
to go tomorrow?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
If
There's no reason for my bias because it's Ilio's 9/11 and probably
I've never been to 9/11.
It's
I don't want to steal their shtick too much, but
yeah.
I don't know. I also don't need to be gallivanting around the South Towns eating wings. You know, that's just not a good endeavor for as I approach my 40s in the next 5 years.
Right.
So anyway, the Jets is still under income coach Jeff Albright and faced certainly their challenges. 23-20 loss. We beat them out in week 6. A little closer than we thought it would be. And quarterback Aaron Rodgers is dealing with that MCL injury. It's expected. He's expected to start. And he does have that goal, those superlatives of 500 career touchdown passes. But I think that does touchdown on a body of a career versus landing, that Boeing of a career. You like that, Jets?
I do.
You like the Jets?
I do.
Landing that thing over at you're not landing. I guess Boeing's at Teterboro. You're probably either at JFK. Oh, you know what? You're not, because that's in New York. You're landing it at Newark fucking airport. Third world country, situated in a first world city. So he is seeking to the 500. But the Bills, with quarterback Josh Allen, he's managing his shoulder, his elbow. We don't know, the degree of how much residual pain and numbness is in that from that funny bone thing that we saw from the helmet contact. But he is anticipated to start. Defensive back Cam Lewis's status does remain uncertain. With the Jets, wide receiver Devontae Adams has a hip, and quarterback Sauce Gardner is dealing with a hamstring. Both are listed as questionable, with defensive tackle Quinnen Williams. He also has a hamstring as well. He was limited in practice. We'll refer you to their injury report. As always, this is sponsored by Ilio DePaulo's 3785 South Park Avenue, Fubo TV, FanDuel, Fat Boy Surf Club, Beauty Pools, Kayak Pools, and Sons of Erie.
And W.GG.
W.GG. Matt, we bring it over to Off the Rack. Off the Rack, sponsored by Fat Boy Surf Club. Hey, Fat Boy Surf Club, they outfit your stars like... Yeah, Zen hit. We got to get a sponsor. Actually, it's Rogue, but they outfit stars like Spencer Brown. They outfit stars like Ryan Vandermark and Big AA, who's at the Sabres win right now, 6-2. Anticipated win, but with the Sabres, 4 minutes left, you never really know what's going to happen. So for 20% off, use code DO at checkout. Fast Boys Surf Club, everything you need.
Nothing you don't.
Anyway, we saw it. Maddie actually kind of saw it this week. James Cook, in that 7 degree, 8 degree, 9 degree weather, he was wearing a different jersey. Maddie, why don't you tell me what jersey he normally uses, the Fuse?
Yeah, so real quick, I mean, we definitely want to shout out, on Twitter, NFL Fashion Advice. They're the ones who spotted it for not
Sure.
us specifically, but for Twitter. James Cook was wearing
We saw it. They confirmed it.
They James Cook was wearing a Vapor Untouchable jersey, where he normally wears the Fuse. The Untouchable jersey is better for the cold. It is a tighter fit.
Yeah.
It is more breathable.
It seems like it's kind of like a lighter. It's almost it's more insulated but lighter, especially when you're wearing a couple layers underneath. You want to be able to sweat, but it needs to be sweat wicking. Matt, the key features of that, we're saying fit, material, and performance.
It's designed for maximum performance and breathability, featuring a more streamlined fit and advanced materials that provide ventilation, so helping with sweat and things like that. And then also, it's definitely better for cold weather because it has the moisture wicking technology.
Right, as we said that.
Allowing for better sweat management, so it keeping the player drier in colder conditions.
Yeah, and that's going to be key, especially when you don't know with some of that messy footing and stuff like that, how long you're going to be sitting on the sidelines there. But that is Off the Rack. It was the Vapor Untouchable versus the Vapor Fuse out of James Cook. So shout out NFL Fashion Advice. While you didn't find it for me, you did confirm it for us. So we do like it. Hey, Matt!
Yo.
We're moving to the Peak in the Pit. Matt,
Yeah, let's go.
As I ask you every single week, every single post game, what is the pit in your stomach that you hope we do not descend to that can almost guarantee a loss versus the New York Jets tomorrow, Sunday, December, whatever, at 1 p.m. Highmark Stadium.
Honestly, the peak, the pit of my stomach for the game is Josh Allen trying to do too much. Even though, like we said earlier, he even said, he doesn't care too much about the MVP. But I don't want that to be in his mind or anything where he has to, I have to go out and do X amount of things and then make mistakes, which are going to cost turnovers or anything like that. So they can, so he continues to just take care of the football. He continues to play up to his standards and just go out and even have an average game, and the Bills should be victorious in this game.
I do like that. It's good. That is the pit for Matt Diegert. Matt, my pit in this thing is Josh accruing bodily injuries like destination stamps on a piece of luggage. While we do have, hopefully, if we take care of the Jets the way I think we do possibly have that rest week for him. I do not want to see him further advance the writings on his status on the injury report. I think that is the pit in my stomach if he tries to do so much. I think he has done a good job from the way I view the game of being risk averse, not taking those big body shots. Maybe when he sees that running lane open up, he is taking a second look as he advances the ball to the line of scrimmage. Not putting himself in risky situations. You're not seeing the Jordan Jumpman over defenders and stuff like that.
The Josh Jumpman.
Yeah. He's protecting the goods. I definitely do want to see that. But if we don't, that would be the pit in my stomach. Hey, Matt.
Yo.
What is the peak of performance of which we have to arise to almost guarantee a win against our divisional rival, the New York Jets?
Yeah, so like we always say, you throw everything, records and everything out when you're playing divisional opponents because they see you all the time. They know you, from years past. They know you from this year.
A lot on film.
A lot. You've put a lot on film against these guys, and but it's not necessarily that you have to show them anything different. But you gotta, the peak of my is to continue to call your game, whether that's Joe Brady or Bobby Babbage. Continue to play, continue to put your guys in the best situations possible, and when that happens, you're most likely going to come out on top, because in the end, you're calling down. It's that three-headed monster we talk about, with McDermott, Babbage, and Joe Brady, and just continue calling your game, and when you call your game, Josh is protecting the ball, and they know. And the other thing we noticed too is he's starting to ask for more than one call in the huddle.
Yeah. Do you want to expand on that? What that means? Because I know I predicate a lot of my Twitter viewings and a lot of post game real estate to two in the headset. Matt, what's two in the headset mean?
Yeah, so he's just asking for 2 plays in advance, so he can
get to the line if the first fails.
Get to the line if the first fails, but also too if they get through that play quickly and maybe get to the next play that we're calling in
with respect to how much time is left on the clock.
Correct.
These are situations, not all the time. These are situations largely predicated on not burning a timeout, like we saw on the goal line when that QB sneak did not work. These are situations predicated on, hey, let's get to the line of scrimmage, almost like a hurry up, try and catch them off guard. But if you got 2 in the headset and they're not overly complicated plays, typically they're of the same genre. They're both inside runs. Seldom are you asking for two route trees. That just wouldn't happen. But I'm glad you brought that up. 2 in the headset always means, hey, we're in a clock management situation where time does matter, where timeouts do matter, and scoring is on the precipice. Matt, my peak of performance is, you brought up a 3-headed monster. I'm talking about a different one. I'm talking about James Cook. I'm talking about Ty Johnson. And I'm talking about that draft pick,
Ray Davis
out of the University of Kentucky. They've all played fantastic. I've loved the way Ty Johnson is everything, all things, anything you ask him to do, whether it's pass blocking in pro set, whether it's taking a bubble screen. I'm going to cough again. Oh my God. I get fired up and, whatever. You ask him to do a lot of things, and he's doing a lot of things great. James Cook, he's ripping off 46-yarders, like it's Pat Bruckness asking for a lotto loan, just ripping things off. Or we pause for station identification. or we ask Ray Davis to just get in there for a breather for the other two. I mean, when you're ripping off big runs like that, you do need to get the lungs back in your horse's stable. And when you got three guys that can get fresh legs in there, they take a little pressure off of Josh's shoulder. They take they give the offensive line. Hey, the offensive line wants to block. When you got Alec Anderson on the fucking field, man. Sorry, let me do that again. The fucking field. You want to run the ball, and you want the guy having the ball to have fresh tires, have fresh petrol, and I think we do a great job. So the peak of performance, I think we do need to ascend to, is a different three-headed monster. It's our running back room, Maddie.
I would definitely, I do like that. The nice thing I do like about our running back room, especially with Cook, Davis, and Johnson, is each one of them is very similar in, they're not necessarily their build, but the way that they run the ball, right? But they all do their own things great too. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, they're in the game for a reason. They're whether it's Ray Davis catching a ball out of the backfield and taking it 60 yards, whether it's Ty Johnson getting open how he can
he's a
downfield.
Let's talk about Chad Johnson. Let's talk about Chad Johnson a little bit. He started his career where? Started his career
with the Jets.
Jets. No, he didn't. He was somewhere else before. Carolina?
Well, we can find that out.
Yeah, look that up quickly. Yeah. But it's got to be. It's almost like the Sabres. And shout out to the Sabres. They take a 6-2 win over the Blackhawks. You will see the Blackhawks play at the Winter Classic out at Wrigley. If you've never been to Wrigley Stadium, man, great place. But I digress. It's interesting the way Ty Johnson has played. He did not find much success or kind of much focus, really, game plan focus around the way the Bills are using him. Where did he start?
Detroit.
He was somewhere in the Midwest. Yeah, Detroit. So he goes Detroit to the Jets to the Bills. Do you remember the feelings of us signing Ty Johnson? It was kind of a quiet signing, but at the same time, the people you know, they knew he had a lot of capabilities.
When they first signed him, I was like, okay, bring him in. He comes off the Jets practice squad or whatever he was on at the time.
Some snap.
Yeah, no, he did. But I mean, what I'm saying though is, yeah, he's coming off the practice squad from the Jets. You bring him in, use some of his knowledge of what the Jets are doing, things like that. But then he starts playing well, and then when they re-signed him this offseason, it was a bigger. I loved it this offseason. I'm glad they brought him back.
Yes. They absolutely, yeah. It's a core. You're almost solidifying your core stable. You draft well with Ray Davis. James Cook is just. Is he of the echelon of good Dalvin Cook right now?
He's getting there. He's
getting there.
He's definitely getting there.
What does he got to do to be? Hey, it's almost like the Vernon Davis, Vontae Davis. Vontae, the younger brother, his career ended too soon with. Okay. I don't know if you want to go out with whatever. I already named the guy. So, sorry, no name dropping here. We don't do that anymore. But you're solidifying that running back room with the 3P. But Vontae Davis never got to the Vernon Davis level. Shannon Sharp did usurp Sterling Sharp, even though they're both in the Hall. Dalvin Cook
no,
Hall.
Not. They're not.
What do you mean?
Sterling is not in the Hall.
Sterling Sharp is 100% in the NFL Hall of Fame.
You want to put a bet on that?
Put $1 on it.
I would put anything on that to let you know. Sterling Sharp is not in the Hall of Fame.
Hey Siri, is Sterling Sharp in the NFL Hall of Fame? Shannon Sharp was inducted in 2011. I don't know. If you're going to prove me wrong, you do the work.
All right.
I make the jokes, you do the work. Anyway, what is in this game? What can James Cook borrow from Dalvin Cook's game that you think is missing currently? Is there something missing, or do you think he exists in a system where that was a Vikings?
No, I mean you're starting to see it all this year. I mean you really are. You're starting to see it where he got a couple angry runs. It should have been, two-time angry run in one back-to-back weeks. He didn't get.
But you're saying he's not Dalvin yet.
So
I think he'll play longer than Dalvin.
I do too. And
I mean, once Dalvin exited that Vikings contract, we weren't talking about it. It's almost like when Zeke left. Conversely, we do have somebody that could break Eric Dickerson's record in the next 2 games.
yeah, Saquon
We're
Barkley.
seeing 2, and maybe we can flip this to Ty Johnson as well. You're seeing 2 future NFL Hall of Famers now switch their lifelong teams in Saquon Barkley and the other one plays for the Ravens currently.
Oh, Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry. You're seeing a rejuvenated effort, not effort. I would say success level. What do you think? Eric Dickerson was out in the media this week. He does not want to see Saquon Barkley break it. That's not predicated on any animosity or anything like that. They don't got beef, but it's kind of like a Gastineau situation. Do you see that with Brett Favre? Shout out Missouri State volleyball team, or whatever, or Mississippi State, I guess Southeast
Mississippi State.
whatever.
Yeah.
Do you think he breaks it?
I don't.
He's got to average, I think
it's like
148,
something like that. Yeah, because he's got like 1,800 and something yards.
Yeah, he's like 306 away.
I'll get the exact numbers here in a second.
Is
but
Sterling Sharp in the NFL Hall of Fame? What the fuck were you doing the last fucking 5 minutes?
I had it pulled up.
While I was carrying the show.
It closed on me.
Yeah, this conversation is going to close unless you give me an answer.
He is not. He is not. And
All right,
they're
that's
saying
why
the reason. They're saying the reason is because his longevity. But I think he should.
Yeah,
be.
but look at Barry Sanders.
No, I mean, let's
Calvin Johnson.
Let's have a conversation real quick about this. Look at Terrell Davis.
He's not on the NFL Hall of Fame.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Terrell Davis is in the Hall of Fame.
Jamal, Dirty Bird. Jamal.
No.
Williams.
No, Anderson.
Jamal Anderson.
No, he's not either. But Sterling Sharp definitely should be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he had he had a very good career while he was in the league. He was one of the best receivers. Almost, he doesn't get hurt because I think he hurt his neck.
Okay. Who of our starting 22? We won't go. If you want to kick it to special teams, starting 33. Who do you think? Give me at least 2 first ballots, whether it's on offense or defense, doesn't matter. 2 first ballots and 2 you could make the case for right now. So give me 4 guys who could wear a gold jacket.
Oh, so it's super easy.
Josh,
super easy for me. Josh and Vaughn. Those are your 2 first ballot Hall of Famers, hands down.
Amari Cooper.
Quietly, I don't think he could be a first ballot, but I think he could be a Hall of Famer. Quietly.
Could Micah Hyde? Could Ed?
No. I could see
Matt.
The one player.
Matt Milano.
No.
Longevity.
No, it's not even that.
He's missed the last 2 years. He's missed two out of what?
Because you're asking for first ballot Hall of Fame.
No, I'm asking. Obviously, there's going to be 2 first ballot. That's why I framed it like that. I'm asking, are there any 2 people that are on the cuff that you could make an argument for?
Oh, I mean, you definitely could make an argument for,
Amari. I think
Amari for sure. I don't think Milano. I don't think
Micah,
Micah, anything like that. I don't even think. I know he's not on the team
Deion?
anymore. I don't think Jordan Poyer either. I know he's not on the team anymore, but he played. He
was all pro
with the Bills. But the one I was gonna say you just brought up is Deion.
Okay.
I definitely.
I don't think he has any Pro Bowls or any All Pros. Does he?
All pros, I'd have to look that up, but I do know he has some Pro Bowls.
All pros are voted on by your constituents, correct?
Yes.
Whereas the Pro Bowl is a fan vote, I do believe. So interesting. So you got your 2 shoo-ins. I think shoo-ins. We're at shoo-in process. Josh Allen and Vaughn Miller. I'd love to see Vaughn Miller just give me a couple more snaps, Matt. You're going to lose that bet to Thigh Doctor. Once again, we're shouting him out twice. Thigh Doctor, sorry, no name dropping. You're losing that bet, but at the same time, Matty, you have faith in making that bet that he can return to that dominant duck under form. As we go later in the season, do you see us kind of ramping him down a little bit in order to gear up for some really meaningful playoff football? Is he the guy we ramp down versus Josh? If you had to pick down a ramp down.
Honestly, talk to me after this Jets game, because if they...
I'm talking to you right now.
If they... No, And I get that. I'm just saying, like, talk to me next Friday and ask me the question again. I might have a different answer, but I think that if the Bills do win on Sunday, I think a lot of the guys are going to be sitting. I think you're going to see Josh sitting -1 series. I think you're going to see Von Miller sitting. I think you're going to see probably Amari Cooper sitting, let his hand fully heal, or and get some of these guys that are injured. Back to what they want to do, or back to the highest form that they play. Because we said it earlier in the season, the best you're feeling is when you're first taped up
for the first day of contact.
And we want to have some of these guys going into the playoffs that way.
Yeah, I absolutely do bag what you're raking. Matt, give me a score prediction for the game on Sunday here. Sunday at 1 p.m. Highmark Stadium versus the New York Jets, led by a banged up Aaron Rodgers, a banged up Josh Allen, a 12-3 Bills, and a not so good New York Jets.
Well, so I already know yours, 16-10 Buffalo Bills.
Thank you.
But no. Whoa, that was weird. Please turn that off.
No, because you're the one who gets all sanctimonious over your score predictions. So go ahead, give it to me.
All right. Why is this supposed to be like I'm God or something?
You for sure, not the way you predict them. But go ahead, tell me what's your score prediction.
No. I think that the Bills win this game. I would have them winning 27 to 14.
16-10.
Now.
Oh boy, I don't like this. I drive the show, not you. But I'll give you this one.
Stop it. No, but
really
but seriously,
don't like this.
I really want to get your take on this, because it's been all over Twitter, it's been all over media, it's been all over the talking heads, it's been everything. It's been a focus all week from just about every show out there.
Don't call me. No, don't say this shit. I don't care. But go ahead. I don't care.
The MVP race.
I don't care.
I don't care what you. I want to know what you.
But I have been consistent that I really don't think he cares.
And he said he doesn't care. But
so then why does it matter what I think?
Because it's
okay. Now let me flip this question. Okay. Why, if you've heard from the horse's mouth that it doesn't fucking matter, why are you questioning it?
Because it's not the MVP is not necessarily a player. For lack of a better term, player award. It's basically it's to show that he's getting respect from his peers.
You know how you get respect? Go ahead.
How?
You win. The team wins.
Okay.
But it's not a quarterback stat. So the whole ethos of your logic is fucked up.
No.
Okay, the blending of our logic is fucked up. You get respect by winning.
Okay.
Eli Manning. How many MVPs does he have? Not many. But he's got a couple Super Bowls.
Right.
Tom Brady did it in tandem. Are we talking about Josh Brady's? What would you prefer? A Eli Manning winner, win at all costs? Doesn't matter if you start the season. I mean, how many years between 2013 and 2017 did the Giants start at the bottom of the NFC East and somehow make that damn run?
Twice.
Because 3 times, really. 3 times it didn't work out once. But you got a guy who plays meaningful football when you're just going to be playing better teams. I think a lot. You've heard from the horse's mouth. He doesn't care. Do we not believe him, or we just want him? Do you want him to come out and say, "I do care"?
Oh, I absolutely think that I do agree with him to a point.
You have to. He said it.
I don't. Okay. I mean, I want to sit here and say that,
I think you want to have a debate that's already being debated. The reason why talking heads can have that debate is because they can debate anything. So when Stephen A. Smith, I still don't give him credo that he knew anything inside on Stephon Diggs.
No, absolutely.
Do you know anything on the inside of Stephon Diggs?
No.
How many people are you boys with? A lot. How many people am I boys with?
A lot.
No name dropping. Do we know the answer?
No.
Then why is Stephen A. Smith? Because he's allowed to have those conversations. He's allowed to fill time. These are all time-filling conversations, because you're getting to a point, Matt, hey, look at me. You're getting to a point in the NFL where there are fan bases who have been out of it for 5 weeks. Those are the people that care about those conversations. We're still in the thick of it, man. And when you have a quarterback that says, I don't care about this shit, the quarterback doesn't care about this shit. Maybe that's the quarterback we need. It's a quarterback that serves us. It's a quarterback that serves his community. He has talked more about how much we as a fan base need this, more than he's talked about how much he needs a postseason superlative.
It's
Why
not
are we
even a
talking?
it's a regular season superlative.
But it's awarded as a postseason superlative. The reason why he wouldn't be at that award ceremony is because he's got to play the Super Bowl the next day. That's why it's a postseason superlative. And the people that are having post-superlative conversations are the people that aren't going to get to the postseason because their season's been over for 5 weeks.
But
that's why it shouldn't matter.
It's not. Because it's between two players right now.
I understand it's between two players, but the people that care about this don't have anything else to analyze because their season is so over, i.e. the Jets, i.e. the Dolphins, i.e. Well, the Dolphins, I guess.
But it's not even them. It's literally Bills and Ravens fans, the two fan bases.
But it is the talking heads of which have to talk to the rest of the country. Like one of the biggest markets, the Jets, the biggest markets, the Giants, the biggest markets, the Cowboys, the biggest markets, LA and Las Vegas. All those guys are out. They're speaking to them and making football palatable for them because they have nothing to root for. And that's where they're going to have their staunchest opinions. And you know what? They haven't been watching games like we have because we're still in it. They've been watching their teams lose, so now they're going to comment on players that are winning. Some of these conversations right now are predicated for fans that have nothing to root for. And I don't care. Josh has a lot to root for. He can root for himself, but in the greater scheme of things, he's rooting for his team because you can't deny a winner.
Okay.
That was pretty good.
It was, but let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this then.
Shut up.
Now
man.
that you now that you
Hey,
come down.
Ooh, that was a raucous applause. Thank you.
Take a step.
Thank you.
Take a step off your pedestal for a second. And no, seriously though, answer me a question though.
I don't want to. I avoid questions I don't want. I mean, you should hear me talk to the IRS.
But all right. So what is the difference between MVP and Offensive Player of the Year?
I don't know.
No, I'm legitimately asking you.
MVP is somebody that is absolutely indelible to the success of their team. Offensive Player of the Year is based on production. You can have an MVP winner that doesn't have the highest QBR, that doesn't throw the most touchdowns, that doesn't have the most passing yards.
Had it last year in Lamar.
Okay.
Now my question.
Then those two different dichotomies of criteria have met, and we have a perfect marriage. Do we have many people debating who was the MVP last year? Not really.
Not really. I mean,
because you have the two perfect marriages of the criteria you've just of which asked.
He
me
was
about.
unanimous and are almost unanimous. I think there was one vote that made him not.
Was that Bucky?
I don't know who it was. I don't
Jerry
know.
Sullivan?
Honestly, I don't know who it was. But no. I mean, my question to you then is, who would be your MVP right now? Watching all the football we watch, who would be your
Josh
MVP?
Allen.
Would it be Josh Allen or would it be Lamar Jackson?
Josh Allen.
Okay.
Does that conversation change if Saquon Barkley breaks it?
No, he does come in.
What if Jared Goff goes and wins the Super Bowl?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because the votes are in before that. But
votes,
for the sake of debate,
I mean,
quarterback wins are not a QB stat. I got that. But if we're talking about most, okay, I'll get into it. Fine, maybe I do care a little bit. Lamar Jackson, and this is like a game of what if, which is stupid. He can't pump out those numbers if he doesn't have a running back like he does in Derrick
So
Henry.
basically what I was trying to get down to real quick.
Yeah, you could have just asked it rather than me.
With Derrick Henry there with the Ravens.
Correct.
He gets a loaded box almost 32% of the time.
Yeah,
he does.
I know. I'm not debating that. 32% of the time, putting 8 in the what's a loaded box? 8.
8, yeah,
Sure.
8 or more.
But if you're playing cover one,
but what does that do for the back end of the defense? It puts
but Lamar Jackson has the most rushing yards for QB too.
He does, but those are mostly on those plays that are either read options or they are plays where they're not loading the box or they are and then you have receivers.
Are you critiquing everybody eats?
No, not at all.
If you got a player that's great and you give him more opportunities for greatness, isn't that just good football?
It's good football to watch.
It's good football when you're the Ravens. They did beat us.
They did 35-10. Absolutely.
Are they a better football team?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
But Josh doesn't play Lamar.
Correct. But when you're
They're never on
talking
the field at the same time.
when you're talking about an MVP award or an Offensive Player of the Year award, you're talking
when you're
about
talking about it.
when anybody's talking about
When
it.
you're talking about it.
Why?
Because I don't care.
Then we're done.
If Josh doesn't care, I don't care. This show doesn't care. Moving on. Your score prediction was
27-14.
16-10 here. Matt, you got anything else for me? Anything else of note? Are you going to go to the game on Sunday?
No,
No, I think we're done. Do we go to a playoff? I'll go to a playoff game.
I'd go to a playoff game. Absolutely, I'd love to go to a playoff game.
Yeah. It's just it gets so worked up. We were talking to Matt Glos about it, and he was just like, I don't always love going to the games because he loves the film aspect. He loves the multi-camera angle aspect. With a wet ball game, do you think that lends its hand to a guy who's kind of gotten an open garage to run versus what we said previously in the show? Josh is kind of guarding himself. He's not going for those aggressive runs. He's not lowering his shoulder with an injured shoulder. He's not getting in the air the way he hurt his hand in the air. Does that ring?
I do think that I do think knowing that he has the broken hand that brought more credence to why he isn't tucking the ball as much and running it this entire year. So why would things change now? Why would he not continue to protect himself now?
Especially with that exasperated weather.
Exactly.
Do you anticipate a more ground-based game just based on how much this defense has kind of been slashed up a little bit?
I mean, it depends. I mean,
Brees Hall isn't. He's not Derrick Henry.
No,
he does have explosiveness, but he would be closer. Brees Hall would be closer to a Dalvin Cook versus a.
Well, he'd
Derrick
be
Henry.
very, very similar to both Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery than he would be to Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
They have a Derrick Henry light in their backfield with Braylon Allen.
They do.
So
It's a good call.
But I do see a little bit more of the run game from the Jets. Which does scare me a little bit as far as trying to lock up that second seed.
Yeah.
But I do think that they'll have a game plan to stop him, to stop their backfield because
What is the game plan? We don't like to do those open-ended things.
It'll depend.
Go watch another show if it's open-ended.
It'll depend. It truly will depend on if Devontae Adams is going to play.
How does it depend? You're going to see a more cover 2 look, right?
Correct. You're going to see more,
especially if you got Kyer in. Kyer did not play his best game in that cover 1 of which we did. That's why I don't like leaving things open-ended. I think if you're watching another show and they leave it open-ended, unfortunately, you don't know what they're talking about. I think you're going to see a lot more cover 2 with the Tampa 2, probably cover 2 man under, because Brees Hall is explosive out of the backfield. Conversely, I do think you'll see another cover 2 Tampa, like a Tampa 2, out of the Jets as well. Mosley, I don't think, is going to be in the enterprise of playing man coverage on a running back. I don't think that, in knowing that Josh isn't going to pull down the ball and run, I don't think there's a need for a cover 1 rat going back into the playbook. A cover 1 rat is going to be your spy. With that look there while playing a little bit of a funnel with the Y. So that's why I don't like leave it open-ended. If you want to learn something, I don't think you're seeing a lot of cover 1 rat. I think you're seeing a Tampa 2 under. They say a 2 high, 2 safety high look. Now, if they want to mix it up with that cover 1 robber, that is typically a third down cover scheme where you can open up rush lanes a little bit, and you do see a larger predicate funnel, and they do like to disguise a cover 2 look while still playing the robber. Well, so that's why I don't want to leave it empty.
Yeah, I mean, it'll also come down to if Sauce Gardner actually plays.
Exactly. We're dealing with the hamstring.
They play a little bit more man coverage with him, than they do zone when he's playing at his highest level.
Which
but
I don't know if he has been.
He
both Wilsons haven't.
Yeah, both
Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
And Zach Wilson.
He's not even
Thanks,
on the team
Matt.
anymore.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're
Thank
welcome.
you. Cal Ripken plays baseball, right? Hey, Matt, who are you talking to, buddy?
Yeah, so I'm gonna talk to Joe Brady here.
Okay, talk
just
to me. What's up?
Continue to call your game. You got to continue to call your game.
Wish him well.
Just continue to call your game. Have Josh, get those two into him so that he can continue to, put pressure on the defense. Have a good game.
All right, hey, man, I'm talking to Ryan Vandermark. Ryan Vandermark, these last 2 weeks are what's going to keep you in this offensive line cohesive. You're going to get a lot of playing time. Alec has already kind of met his maker in terms of his utility. I do believe Ryan Vandermark has a great opportunity to play big-time football the way because he is a big-time guy, both in stature and his knowledge of the playbook. You saw him coming a couple times, both last year and this year, and we did not see a skipping of the beat. So now if you go from a strong five-wide offensive line, 6 with Alec coming in, and then a 7th just to give some of the big guys who've been there for a while, the McGoverns, the Deion Dawkins is in. I think that's great. So Ryan Vandermark, you go and have yourself a day. Hey, Matt!
What's up?
Good to be seen, buddy.
Good to be seen.
Check us out. We are back tomorrow with the Hockey Hotline. It's Sunday with No One to Blame featuring Kevin. We are featuring Jesse. And we're featuring our good friend Jake. Matt, great to see you, buddy.
Buffalo Blueprint tomorrow night.
Buffalo
Coast to Coast
Blueprint.
next Wednesday.
Everything you need.
Nothing you don't.
Peace.